Hi, thank you guys for tuning in.
This has a black page.
Yes, thank you for tuning in tonight, and thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We are broadcasting simultaneously, okay? So bear with us tonight. I'm going to go live on my page at the moment. In three, two, one. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. I'm Minister Marcus, and welcome to Maximize Your Life.
Yeah.
Yes. It is great to see all of you guys tuning in. YouTube, this is our actual first time going live. You normally see this after we have already done it, but tonight we are going live just for you guys. Thank you guys once again for tuning in on our Wednesday night. Thank you guys for tuning in once again on our Wednesday night. It is Maximize Your Life. Before we start tonight, I want to encourage all of you guys to join our lesson live. There's a website called nearpod.com. I have it in the comments. You go to nearpod.com, nearpod.com. Scroll down to join lesson, right? And enter the code. The code is GBMIW. All right. So for those of you want to be a part of the lesson, you can see all the slides and stuff that we have made, just so you can be a part of the lesson, just like you're in here with the rest of us. Amen. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Tonight, I love this lesson. I want to tell you something. I have been studying this lesson, and I am ready to share it. It is Wednesday night. I know you probably had a long day. I had a long day too. You can pop your earbuds in, and it will still bless you. So tonight, our lesson is coming from 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 1 through 6. And if you are on Nearpod right now, you just seen the scroll. I need you guys to go to nearpod.com, scroll down, and type in the code so you can be a part of our lesson. I am going to read 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 1 through 6. If you don't have your Bibles, I'm going to read it out loud. Thank my TGM Bible study crew for being here with me tonight. Amen. I love it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Man, I see you. How you doing? We about to get right into the lesson. Thank you guys for tuning in. I see you guys. All right. 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 1 through 6. It says, and Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab, as the Lord God of Israel lives, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew or rain these years, but according to my word. The word of the Lord came unto him, saying, go and hide yourself eastward by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And it shall be that you shall drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed you there. So he went and did according to the word of God, for he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening, and he drank of the brook. Tonight's lesson topic is get in your place. I want y'all to say after me. Say, I got to get in my place.
I got to get in my place.
Say it one more time. I got to get in my place.
I got to get in my place.
Those of you that are streaming live, I want you to say that after me. I got to get in my place.
I got to get in my place.
Thank you. The importance of being in place. All right. For those of you who are not familiar with the kings, what you have in the kings are, you have all the different kings from Israel and Judah. God's chosen nation has been split into two different nations. One of them is called Israel. One of them is called Judah, right? And so they have been split into those two separate nations. And the greater part of those is called Israel. The lesser part of those is called Judah. Now, while Judah has great kings, Israel has evil kings. And so Israel is under the king named Ahab. And here's what the word says. Ahab was a king that did evil in the sight of the Lord. He did evil, like he did what he wanted to do, basically. He came in, he said, I'm going to be king. I'm going to run it the way I see fit. I know whatever we supposed to be serving God, but he going to do it his way. All right, and so what he did, he turned the nation of Israel, right, to worshiping idols. How many of you know when you have responsibility? I mean, how many of you know when you have influence, you have a responsibility? For those of us who have kids, you have a responsibility to train, to put in these kids' minds something positive. And most of the time, what we do, I'm not gonna say most of the time. Sometimes what people do is they use that, right? They use it, they twist it, they turn it. I'm not gonna stay there. But here's the thing: he used his influence to turn the people towards idols. And so we all know that God is a jealous God, right? So he raises up a man named Elijah. And this is what I'm going to start, because at the beginning of the text, it says Elijah the Tishbite. And so now God is going to use Elijah to stand against Ahab to bring the nation of Israel back to him. And so what I want to highlight, one of the things that really caught my attention about this was looking at Elijah the Tishbite. This is what the text calls him. We don't know nothing about Elijah before this point. Normally you got the genealogies, you got his mama, he was a son of a prophet, you got his daddy was this, his that. There is nothing about Elijah until it's time for God to use him. And it really stood out to me because there is no beginning before that. And one of the things that I really got from that for me, and this is just starting for you guys that are just rolling in, I'm trying to give y'all a little bit of time. One of the things that really blessed me, it encouraged me to let me know that you don't have to necessarily come from a great man. I know if y'all like me, if y'all like me, my daddy was a preacher, my granddaddy was a preacher. You know, I got cousins that's preachers. I got a whole lot of people in my family that's preaching. But one of the things that I do love about God is that God can use you no matter where you have come from. I really want to encourage somebody with that tonight. No matter where you come from, no matter what you know what, sometimes people at church, they make you feel like because you ain't said this way, because you don't dress this way, because you don't look a certain way, because you don't act a certain way, because you didn't do this or do that, that God will be able to use you, because you don't put on a suit and tie, right? There are some people who don't believe that women can preach. I love the fact that God does not care where you come from, but he can use you no matter who you are. And they say it like this: God doesn't wait for you to qualify before he calls you, but he calls you and then he qualifies you for what it is that he wants to use you for. And I really love the fact that they don't give him a history. They don't say where his mom is from, because it just lets us know that God can use anybody who is willing. It's not about ability, it's about availability. I want you to get that. It's not about ability, it's about availability. Here's my question to you tonight. It's not what you can do well. It's not what you cannot do well. It's not your abilities. Can you sing? Can you praise dance? Can you preach? Can you teach? My question is, it's not what abilities do you have, but are you available for God to use you? Right? And sometimes people, you know what, when I first started preaching, people made me to believe that God couldn't do nothing in my life because I didn't wear a suit, because I didn't have on a tie every Sunday, because I didn't have a button-down shirt with slacks on. But the harsh reality and the truth of it is that God don't care nothing about what people care about. And I love that, and I don't want to stay there too long, but I love that you don't have to be blank just for God to use you. You don't have to be rich for God to use you. You don't have to be so spiritual for God to use you. You don't have to be this. And here's what I love. I love the fact that God is able to take regular people like Minister Marcus who have, who have done some things, right? Who have said some things, who have not been perfect all the time, and take what they call in the old school church a wretch like me and use somebody like me to be a blessing. I want to encourage you tonight. Don't let nobody tell you that God can't use you because you have a past. You looking at somebody that got, I really don't want to stay there, but man, I feel God touching me right there, because so many times we get so caught up on theatrics. We get so caught up on things that God really don't even care about. And here's what God is saying: if you could just trust me enough to let me work my plan out through you, you'll be surprised what God can do in your life. And so the text says that Elijah the Tishbite from Gilead. And here's what I love, because there were some people there. Gilead, if you do your research, was described as a place full of rejects. from some of the tribes of Israel, and they were full of rejects. And here's what I love. It goes right back to what I was saying before. People can look at you and call you whatever they want to call you. But I'm so glad that people's opinion do not change God's purpose. I'm going to say that again. People's opinion of you does not change God's purpose for you. People look at Marcus and said, because I came from a broken home, I would never be nothing, right? Because I didn't graduate high school and I got my GED, I would never be nothing. People look at, I love this, because people look at David and their opinion of him was just a lowly shepherd boy, not even counted worthy to come to the meeting, but the purpose inside of him, God was going to use him to be the next king. I want to encourage somebody in here tonight, and maybe somebody who may be streaming live. I want to encourage you. So what people got their opinion in you? So what people don't see you in the light that God has put you in? That don't let nobody's opinion change what you believe God has made your purpose to be. Because God can use anybody. This is what they say, from the guttermost to the uttermost. All right, so we moving. We don't know much about where he comes from, but Elijah can be described as one of the greatest prophets in the Old Testament. But he is not known, or he is not seen until God is ready to use him. I'm going to say that again. Right. One of the greatest prophets in the Old Testament is not known, is not seen, is not heard of until God is ready to use him. Can I minister to somebody that may be watching, or those of you in here tonight? Sometimes God, I feel that sometimes God will hide you. Sometimes God will keep you where you are. Sometimes God will shroud you in your gift. And most of the time, you know what we do? We get frustrated. God, why haven't I arrived yet? God, why haven't I got the business deal that I want? Why ain't nobody calling me to preach? God, why? Sometimes God will hide you, right? Incubate you until it's your, this is what the word say, humble yourself under the mighty hand of God. In due times, we don't get that. In due time, he will exalt. See, most of the time, we want the due time to be now. We want our time to be now. But sometimes, I love it, because we don't know nothing about Elijah until it's time for him to get used. I want to encourage you tonight, those of you that may be watching, don't get discouraged because your time is not right now. Your time is coming, and I guarantee you this, God has a way of putting the right people at the right time, at the right place, for the right reasons. And so right now, it may not be your time to shine, but don't get discouraged, because I guarantee you, when it's time for your time to shine, this is what I like to say it like this: wait until your time comes. You ain't got time to be waiting, hating on somebody else because they time right now. The same God that blessed them, he'll bless you. And I love it because we don't know nothing about this man at all until it's time for God to use him. And we don't hear nothing about him. We don't know what his gifts are. This man just pops up on the scene. I want to tell you something. I was listening to Tyler Perry, and he said for years he struggled, for years he wanted the big break, for years, and he never got it, only to get up the road and discover that God had him hidden, right? So that when the time came, he would be able to make his own business. I want you to hear me in here. Sometimes we get so frustrated with God that we feel like we're supposed to be at a place, and God is saying, I have you right where I want you to be. Stop tripping, get out of your feelings, and get into your purpose. God will preserve you God will preserve you for his purpose. God will preserve. I'm going to say that again because somebody may have missed it. God will preserve you for his purpose. David is anointed to be king, but his time is not going to be for 15 years. Why? God had to preserve him for a purpose. Moses didn't even know what he was going to be doing, but there was a decree that was sent out. All of the male children under 2 years and under were to be killed. But I love that God will preserve you and protect you and keep you hidden until your time comes. Now is not the time for you to get discouraged. Your time is, oh, I feel that. I feel that. You have been preserved for the right person at the right place at the right time in your life. Now may not be the time for you to meet your husband. Now may not be the time for you to come into that $1 million. Now may not be the time, but I guarantee you this. If you trust God, man, I got to move. I got to move. I got to move. This time is moving. Don't get discouraged. Your time is coming. All right. And so what God does, he brings Elijah on the scene. Why? Because the nation of Israel have turned against him. And you know, most of the time, you know what? We are saved, we are spiritual as long as we are down. I never understood that. Sometimes it takes trouble for us to pray like we're supposed to pray. Sometimes it takes heartache for us to cry out to God like he wants to. Sometimes it takes issues. You know how God gets your prayer life on fire? You know what he does? He sends trouble your way. He sends issues your way. He sends things in your life to force you to pray. And I want, you know, I want us to look at that. Sometimes it takes trouble for us to pray. And then you know what? When God begin to bless us, when God begin to let two nickels of ours rub together, right? When our ends, they may not meet, but they start waving at one another, right? You know, it's like this. You know, some people, as long as they didn't have a car, they was catching the bus to church and they was on time. But as soon as God, come on, you know what I'm saying? As soon as God bless them with a car, most of us, sometimes we forget about the God that brought us. And here's the understanding. Here's the understanding is that the children of Israel got to a place where they forgot about God. And so what does God do? He challenged, right? The thing that they had left him for. Oh God, I feel that. He challenged the thing that they had left him for. I'm going to tell you something about the God that you serve. Something about the God that you serve is, as soon as you feel like it's the car that got you the blessing, you know what happened? The car started breaking down. As soon as you feel like it's the job that brought you, now it be issues at work. As soon as you forget about God for the boyfriend or the girlfriend or the husband or the wife, then you start having trouble at home, because God will challenge the things that you put before him. And he says to the children of Israel, it's a challenge. Why? Because Baal was believed to be the God of rain. He's believed to be the God of agriculture. He's believed to be the God who sends the harvest, right? He's the God who raised. This is what they believe. And so God says, all right, if Baal is the God of rain, if Baal is the God of harvest, Elijah, go tell the king there will be no rain unless you say so. There will be no harvest unless you say so. God challenges Baal. I want you to consider in here that maybe something in your life God may be challenging. Why? Because you put it before him. What have you put before God? Because the God that I serve, you know what? He's not always sweet. He's not always nice. He's not always in the blessing business. Sometimes God got to slap us upside the head. He gonna take. If the job brought you, then let the job deliver you. If the husband brought you, let the husband deliver. He challenges Baal. Baal, you feel it. All right, y'all left me for Baal. I got you. So how about this? Now who you gonna serve when I say ain't no rain coming? Now what you gonna do when I say ain't nothing gonna happen until my word? And here's the thing: God will challenge some things. The famine is the work of God. No rain brings a famine. Why? Nothing can grow. But Baal is the God of agriculture, right? See, most of the time, God has to do us like that. He got to rough us up a little bit. And I'm not going to stay there too long. But God will challenge something. Is God challenging your job tonight? Is God challenging your relationship tonight? Have you put money before God? Is God challenging your finances? What is God challenging in your life to let you see and let you understand there is nothing that should come before me? And so God says, Elijah, I need you to tell him, ain't gonna be no rain. Since y'all believe in Baal, ain't gonna be no rain. Since you believe in that, ain't gonna be nothing until I say. And then here's what I love about it. What God does, he instructs Elijah, go hide yourself. Why? Because Elijah has the words of God in his mouth. So he can speak and it'll start raining. He said, I got a plan. Oh God. Come on, say God's got a plan.
God's got a plan.
Come on, and God's got a plan. God's got a plan. God, this time is running, man. God's got a plan. He said to Elijah, you know what, Elijah? You speak that and then you get out of here. Why? Because I don't need nobody coming to you for a word. I need that word to be hidden. Sometimes God will hide himself. He says, go hide yourself. And now look, this is what we start talking about getting in place. He said, Elijah, check it out. I want you to go down by the brook. And the ravens are going to bring you something to eat in the morning. And the ravens are going to bring you something in the evening. And you can drink from the brook. Look, it's going to be a famine everywhere else, but I got you. It's going to be a famine everywhere else, but I got you. Here's my question to you tonight. My question is, have you put yourself in the flow of God's provision? Have you put yourself in? I want you to understand this. God does not send the meat to Elijah. He sends it. Come on. He sends the meat to a place, then he sends Elijah to a place, and he says, if you got the faith to get where I need you to be, the blessing is already waiting on you. Here is the word for you on tonight. Are you in place or are you out of place? Are you in place where the provision of God is flowing? Are you in place where the blessings of God is flowing? Are you in place tonight? God does not send the blessing to Elijah. He sends Elijah to the blessing. What if your husband is waiting on you? What if your wife is waiting on you? What if your miracle, come on tonight, is waiting on you to get in place? But we're not in place. Now look, it's one thing to say, I need to move locations, right? Where my job is, or where my business is. For those of you who do it, my business may not be in the right place, so I don't see the blessings of God. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying this. When you start talking about getting in place, I don't want you to think physically. Is your mind in the right place? Come on. Are your emotions in the right place? Is your spirit, man, in the right place for you to flow in God's provision? Are you in the right place or are you out of place? The disciples could not receive revelation from God. Why? Because their mind was on immature things. You know what I have discovered? There are so many people that come to church, they high in the spirit, but they are low in the mind. They are so mature spiritually, but they are so immature emotionally, so immature mentally. How you gonna be high in the spirit, but then you so low? Can't nobody tell you nothing without you getting the attitude. My question to you, is your mind in the right place? Are your emotions in the right place? You want God to send you a wife, but your mind ain't ready to handle a wife. Your mind is still immature. You want God to bless you with some things, right, that your mind is not in the place. And here's what God had to do with his disciples. He had to train. That's why they call disciples. He had to train them to get their minds in a different in a different place. Yes. Is your mind in the right place? There are some people that you talk to, you already know what they mind. Some people's mind is on getting high. So that's all your mind is on. Your mind is on nothing productive. You just want to get high. I got you. But here's my question. How is God going to bless that kind of mentality? I want you to know, how can God bless you with something if the immaterial you is not in place? And look, here's the thing. You can be standing in the right place physically with the wrong mind. You can have the right person in your life with the wrong mind, and it's still, you can be in the right place and have the wrong mentality, have the wrong emotional state, and still not see the provision of God. My question tonight is, are you in the right place or are you out of place? Is your mind in the right place? Or is your mind is your mind on childish? What are you thinking about all day? I'm not even going to go there. But the question tonight is, are you in place or are you out of place? We've got to learn to get our minds in the right place so God can elevate us. We don't understand this. We want God to bless us with stuff that we are not. My son comes to me, and this is what he said to me. He said, Dad, now keep in mind, my son is 11 years old. And he said to me, Dad, can I see the keys to your car? Can you see what?
Excuse me?
Let me see the keys to your car. I want you to get this. Sometimes we ask God for stuff. Ask God for stuff.
Come on.
That we ain't ready. You talking about you want a husband. You talking about you want a wife. But come on. I want us to understand it in here tonight, because sometimes the reason why we don't see the manifestation and the provision in our lives is because our minds are not in the place where God would have our minds to be. If God was to elevate you and bless you with what it is that you ask him for, some of us would mess our blessing up because our minds, we can't have a decent conversation. Come on, we don't know how to treat people, we don't know how to talk to people, but yet at the same time you want to ask God to bless you. My question tonight is, is your mind in the right place? Are your emotions in the right place. All right, get your mind in the right place so that God can bless you. And here's what I'm gonna do because the time is running. So I gotta scoot on. Here's the blessing to me tonight. God, can we go a little bit deeper? Can we go just a little bit deeper?
Go ahead.
Here's the thing. All right, he says to Elijah, Elijah, I need you to go somewhere, right? I got a plan. This plan gonna be work. This God now. I got a plan. I'm gonna work this plan out, but here's your place in the plan. Yeah. Come on, somebody didn't get it. I was saying it again. I got a plan, but here's your place in the plan, right? Here's your place in the plan. Come on, I know. Here's your God said I got a plan. But here's your place in the plan. Now, here's the thing. The thing is, when you start talking about getting in place, my question tonight is, everybody teaches about supernatural faith, but nobody teaches about submissive faith. Come on. They missed it. Everybody teaches about move the mountain faith, but nobody teaches about the nevertheless faith. When Jesus has to believe God enough to submit his will for God's will. We're talking about getting in place, right? How can you get in place if you don't have the kind of faith that will submit to the plan, God? Hey, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going crazy with that. If you can't submit to the plan of God, you ain't going to never be in place because you don't understand submissive faith, submissive faith. I will submit to your will. I want you to understand that the submission of Jesus to do the will of God, a nevertheless kind of faith. God, I want to do it, but nevertheless, I'm going to do it your way. Why? Because I trust your plan. Submit to the plan of God. Here's my question, and I got another one. Yes, I got another one. Here's my question. Does your faith have you running around the church but not submitting to the, oh God, I ain't even want to go there. Does your faith have you jumping up speaking in tongues but not submitting to the, come on, you saying you want God to do some things in your life and God say, I got you, but I'm going to need you to get in place in the plan. Are you in place? Yeah. Are you in place? Are you in place in the plan? My TGM television watching this, come on. Are you in place in the plan? Because guess what? If you're not in place, you're going to always be miserable. You're going to always be sad. Yes, you're going to always be unfulfilled. You're going to always be broke. Are you in the plan tonight? Have you submitted? Do you have this kind of faith? This is what the word says in verse 5. It says Elijah did what the Lord commanded. He submitted. Now look. Most of us, we say, yes, God, I want the provision. But here's what God said. All right, you're going to eat in the morning and night, and you're going to drink water all day. You're going to eat in the morning and night, and you're going to drink water all day. Yeah. See, we okay with it until God give us the plan. And the plan ain't filet mignon. The plan ain't, he said, I got you, but you ain't going to be going out to eat. You ain't going out to Papados every night. Come on, I got you, but can you submit? Here's the thing. Elijah submits himself to the plan of God. And when he submits himself to the plan of God, that's where the provision, oh God, that's where the provision came, because he submitted himself to the plan. Here's what God said. I need you to go hide for a while. I wonder, is there anybody in here that God has said, I need you to isolate yourself for a while. I want to bless you, but I need you to go away for a while. I need you to get deep. I need you to come on. I need you to fast for a while. I need you to turn your plate over for a while. I need you to get away from some of them friends for a while. I need you to go into isolation so I can deal with you. Here's my question to you tonight. Are you in place? Are you in the plan? I don't know. A lot of us, we have one type of faith. We want to speak to mountains. We want the mountains to move. We want to speak peace to the storm, but we don't understand. A lot of times you wouldn't even have a storm if you could submit to the plan. God, if you could submit to the plan, you wouldn't even have a storm. But a lot of us, we don't know how to submit. We don't know how to submit. I will live by a brook and be fed by ravens twice a day because I have submission faith. I don't know if y'all feel like me, but this is how I feel. I told God, I said, I see some different stuff in my life. I want to see you do some new stuff in my life. And God said, I got you, but you got to submit to the plan. This is submission faith. My submission faith said, all right, God, you need me to do that? I got you. You know why? I'm not just trying to move mountains. I can submit. My faith would have me. Yes, I want to go out tonight, but I'm not going. Yes, I want to call old girl tonight. Come on, but I ain't ouch and amen. Yes, I want to do that with old girl. But But guess what? I have the kind of faith that says, God, I want to see you do something different in my life. And guess what? You give me the plan. My faith doesn't just tell me to shout on Sunday. My faith don't just tell me to preach. My faith don't just tell me to sing. My faith don't just tell me to move mountains. But my faith tells me, turn it off tonight. Go on, put your phone on silent tonight, because it ain't nothing but trouble. Come on. My faith will tell me, come on, Marcus, you gotta clank, clank. Come on. You know what I mean when I say clank, clank. Just shut it down. Is your faith supernatural, or do you have submissive faith? It's the kind of faith that says, I will do what I don't understand for the plan of God. I will make myself uncomfortable for the plan of God. I will do whatever I have to do for the plan of God. Why? Not because I want to do it, but because I God's plan. Tonight we are talking about, are you in place? Here's my question to you. Are you in place? I'm going to tell you how you get in place. Submission to the plan of God. Guess what? It's not going to be comfortable, but can you submit? It's not going to be cute, but can you submit? It's not going to be glamorous, but can you submit? Can you put yourself in place so that God can bless you? And it's going to take, come on, it's going to take some prayer. It's going to take some fasting. It's going to take some fasting. It's going to take some struggles. It's going to take some tears. It's going to take some all of that. But I guarantee you this, if you can submit to the plan of God, here's what the word said. At the end of that 3 years, Elijah said, look, I want you to go out and tell me, what do you see? His servant came back, didn't see nothing. He said, go back out and look again. At the end of that, he saw a cloud, a small cloud the size of his hand. He said, now I'm getting ready to go and tell Ahab it's about to rain. And I want you to understand something tonight as we get ready to close out this lesson. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. But I want to tell you something tonight. When you submit to the plan of God, at the end of the plan, the rain is going to come. And I know I'm not the only one. I'm ready for some rain in my life. The word of God says, I will open up the windows of heaven and I will I will pour you out a blessing. Look, he said that after come on, try me, test me, submit to my plan and see does my plan work. Submit to my way and see does my way work. Submit to it and see does it work. And see, won't I open up the windows of heaven? See, we preach to open up the windows of heaven, but we don't preach the doing what it takes to get. Come on. And I want you to understand something as we close. I know I said we finna close tonight. I'm feeling this tough tonight. As we close tonight, he said, I see a cloud the size of a man's hand. It's getting ready to rain in somebody's life. It's getting ready to rain. I guarantee you this. There is nothing that you have lost. There is nothing that you have left. There is nothing that you have walked away from that God does not plan to restore to you hundreds of fold. If you can submit to the, I know it don't seem comfortable. It don't seem glamorous. People ain't preaching it. People ain't saying it. But if you can submit to the plan of God, God will pour you out a blessing. One blessing that your life cannot handle. So my question to you guys tonight, thank y'all so much for tuning in. It's time to maximize your life. Submit to the plan of God so that you can see the provision of God. I want to tell you something. Provision comes with the plan. If you can submit to the plan, God has already answered all the questions. He's already worked out all the kinks. The question is, can you submit to the plan of God? So thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to do some more stuff offline. If you guys are on Nearpod, we got some questions coming up and feel free to stay tuned. But I want to bless you tonight. It's about to rain in your life. If you can stick to the plan, God is going to rain down so many blessings that you will not have room enough to receive. And let me markinize that right quick. Every boyfriend that left, every girlfriend that cheated, every car that got repoed, every house that you got evicted from, I want you to understand that God will rain, come on, from staying in the plan. God will rain so many things down in your life. It looks bleak right now, but I guarantee you the kind of God that I serve, he will not leave you by yourself. So I want to bless you. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to tune in next week. Man, I appreciate you guys. Stay tuned. There is much more to come. Go visit us on our website, www.thegodmovement.com. I love you guys and be blessed. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. I hope this word was a great encouragement to your life. God bless you.
Amen.
Let me hit that. Hey man, I'm feeling that, y'all. I'm feeling that tough.
Okay, I finished.
I'm feeling that. I am feeling that.
Oh my God.
So tough.
Okay, that you know what?
Are
you
there
had,
any questions?
Did you know Sister Ward tuned in?
Amen. Amen. That's
And
good.
matter of fact, some of the BWB crew in the morning, Bishop's crew,
Oh yeah.
they be tuning in too.
Yeah. Okay.
Miss
Okay. That's good.
Patsy, he tuned in too a little bit.
Is are there any questions? Are there any? Man, that was a great lesson tonight.
Yes, it was. Yes,
And,
it was.
I want to just say.
Okay, what
I
are
want to just say tonight that sometimes we be expecting.
First and then your pocket. Yeah.
Look. Sometimes we be expecting God to do stuff in our life, and God is saying to us, "I've already told you how to get it," but we don't want to submit to that plan.
Yeah.
We don't want to submit to that process. We don't want to take this step and then take that step, and knowing that we got 100 more steps to go. We don't want to do that.
Come on now.
But boy, if we could just understand that the process is necessary, man. I am so glad that these guys tuned in. That is a blessing.
Yeah, when you go back and see some of the people that's on Facebook.
Yeah. Amen. Thank you guys for tuning in also.